learning how to live with somebody who's different from you, it's a really big life lesson. And I know that a lot of 18-year-olds don't want to hear about things like life lessons, but learning how to get along with a roommate and to get along on a floor of people who are different is really part of what coming to college is about. Students will have older siblings who've lived here, if they heard about it, or they hear the name the Six Pack and it sounds like it's really glamorous and there's going to be a lot of fun going on here.
I knew lots of students who had parents who were alumni. They would talk about this place and that's where their students would end up, or they would have friends that would talk about it. And, you know, we heard stories about this wild place over in Champaign where the parties never stop.
I'm Kirsten Ruby. I'm the Assistant Director of Housing for Marketing for University Housing.
I'm Stan Apperson, and I'm retired from University Housing. I worked 30.5 years here.
The building that we're in is called Clark Hall, and it was one of the first buildings over on this side of campus. It was built in the 50s. It was originally built with Barton and Lundgren halls as a women's residence hall. Then the next halls to be built were Flag and Noble. Those are no longer residence halls. And then Taft Van Doren came around. After World War II, there was an influx of returning GIs on the GI Bill. And these were the parade grounds over here. There were a lot of Quonset huts on this site, and ex-soldiers and probably their families were so eager to come to college that they would sleep stacked up in this place that didn't even have a floor. So after Taft Van Doren came the 6 halls across the street. Those are known as the Peabody Drive Residence Halls and then the Gregory Drive Residence Halls, and those were built in the late 50s and early 60s, and they were all for men. The university thought that if they put women in Urbana and men in Champaign, that they would never get together. Shortly after that, men and women decided they would rather please get together, and so the halls slowly became more and more coeducational. And the Gregory Drive Residence Halls are Gardner, Forbes, and Hopkins, plus now there's new Nugent Hall. And in the Peabody Drive Residence Halls, which is Ikenberry South, those are Scott, Snyder, and Weston. The 6 buildings all look alike, and in college terminology, something like a 6-pack is probably something that's, you know, an occurrence that happens a lot. It's never has been an official name of the complexes over here. We discourage it simply because it has a reference to alcohol, and most of the people living here aren't old enough to drink, and so we try to discourage somebody glorifying it that way. Somebody can call it whatever they like. You know, you've got free speech, but we don't call it a 6-pack.
This was a large amount of student population in one location. So if you wanted to be able to meet lots of different people and interact, this was a good place to do that.
We hope our communities are inclusive. So having a lot of diversity, I think, is healthy for students, and we know that it helps their development. So we don't ever want to see a community where everyone is exactly the same. So that's something we hope will continue. We hope that the friendship that students make when they're on a floor, just in casual encounters, that will continue and that will never go away. Each hall is unique in its own way. As we say, you know, residence halls all have their pros and cons, but some people choose this and they like it here.
It wouldn't break in your car.
Every year, I think the students would come with more expectations of what the buildings should be and provide. The amenities, the nice things. We are finally building residence hall rooms that are more attuned to what the students' mindset was. Even in the 90s.
Students want space, and so these rooms are bigger. Students want privacy, and especially privacy in bathrooms, so that these are all the buildings that are built with a lot fewer residents to bathroom ratio. Students want to have individual temperature controls, so we've gone from no air conditioning to people would like to set their own thermostats, and so we're building that. They're looking for high-speed wireless and looking for other kinds of technological advances, and so we'll be building like that.
I think this is a wonderful building, a wonderful facility. And as you walk through the building now, you see that it's intensely utilized. So that's wonderful that people are using it. It's a great resource.
Now that we've got one dining hall instead of two, it feels much more like a neighborhood that's all together. We've got the land that's bordered by Peabody and Gregory and 1st and 4th Street that really sets it into one big commons area.
This building provides many of the amenities that students are looking for now. Coffee shop, the variable food service items, a good place to study, to interact, and even to learn.
We hope it's still a great choice that students want to live here. We hope that they'll stay for more than 1 or 2 years, that living on campus does make connections, and so that we hope that they'll stay. We want students to be comfortable and succeed, and so having great places to sleep and to study helps with that. And we know that having great places for people to live makes the University of Illinois more